It's only one.
Real quick. We all know that he had $1.7 million in the bank, and you said that was a mistake. But I know my initial reaction of hearing 1.7, I was like, how the hell does this kid only have 1.7 million? You see the change, you see this, you see the whips, buying this, buying that. How in the hell does this kid only have $1.7 million? So Brother Khonsu, explain to the people what kind of financial hardships was he looking forward to later on in life, or what are some of the things that the young artists coming up that watch these platforms can prevent or do to not find themselves in financial straits like Tekashi looks like he's about to find himself in?
Well, let me say this on the face. You made an excellent observation. Oh God, Sam, you made an excellent. Let me tell you why. That's 1.7 he's willing to report. There is a reason he's getting denied bail. It's not because he's dangerous. 6ix9ine is far from dangerous. He's far from notorious. He's not plugged in with any heavy organization. They can't find his money. That's why they won't know.
On the street.
Because he's a risk. He gets out, they don't know what he has access to. He may be young, but he's not that dumb. He fired his staff the day he knew he was going to jail. When he went on the interview, he knew he was going to jail. That wasn't like a surprise visit. The feds don't surprise you. You get warnings. You get told this is what's going on. So he allocated his funds. The problem was he thought if he left someone in his circle, gave him the ill advice to leave that much in the bank. He should have left no more than a few thousand. He should have liquidated those funds and put them in the money market accounts, put them into real estate, put them into annuities, put it in life insurance, in a whole life policy. These are the things that I would advise any aspiring rapper that's starting a business. Keep your money liquidated. You don't want too much sitting in a bank anyway. You're not going to get your money back. You're not going to get the money you deserve. You're barely going to get 0.5 to 1% interest every year. And then on top of that, if it's more than 10,000, you're getting taxed. It's going to be considered income. So he needed to set up a fiduciary shroud, which would have been an LLC or an S corp, and he could have encumbered his money in business expense. All the chains and the jewelry and all that kind of stuff could have been write-offs against his entertainment company. He should, and a lot of artists are getting wise. They're starting to sign other artists, so those artists become business expenses. They give the artist a certain amount of salary to operate under the guise of a work-for-hire agreement or an employee of that label as a musical artist. So quite naturally, an artist like him who becomes an international sensation, there's people in this circle that drop the ball. Because that 1.7 million, I can almost guarantee you he's got far more than that.
Oh, yeah.
But right now, he's in a catch-22 situation, and the feds know he's got more than that. That's why they got him on RICO. $1.7 million is nothing, but they got him on RICO because he has access to way more than that, and they don't know how influential he is in this 9 Trey Blood organization because he has access to so many funds, because he knows people internationally. They're worried that his influence would be greater than the crime, henceforth the El Chapo or something like that. That's the new norm. Once one person does it, once you got somebody like El Chapo, that changes the whole RICO game automatically. No matter if whatever kind of level of money you make. Because they're like, no, this is not going to happen again. This is why the feds are at 93% success rate. Once they do lose, they automatically fix the problem. They don't wait. So Tekashi 6ix9ine, and you don't hear too many people talk about it the way you did, Sam, because they don't watch that. He got access to more than 1.7 million. I promise you that.
Yeah, his manager, it was a clip where his manager, the guy shot his Treyway. He played a clip where he had 20 bank accounts at one point. This was like months ago, so yeah. And when that was real or not, I don't know. Right.
It more than likely, because when you're operating at that level, that's about as many as you're going to need. The average, when you're dealing with high volumes of money, you're going to have multiple accounts and different types of accounts. You're going to have trust accounts. You're going to have a lot of checking accounts because there's going to be a lot of escrow payments, meaning people in his position are going to pay their cell phone bill for the first 2 years. They're going to pay their rent for a year or two. So they're going to have escrow accounts where stuff is automatically paid out. So they have a proper ledger for their accountant at the end of the fiscal year. So sometime it'll take 6, 7, 8, 10, 20 bank accounts to do that, depending upon what type of financial endeavors you're in. So that's absolutely indicative of that. And if Shadi Treyway actually mentioned that, which I didn't know if he actually was ignorant enough to say that, that puts that even buried Tekashi even more so. So that's where the ongoing investigation is going. I wouldn't be surprised if more money surfaces. That's how the FBI works.
Do you think that the whole narrative is going to work with him pretty much saying that he was pretty much being forced or coerced into doing this? Like they were like bullying him? But that seemed like the narrative they're trying to paint right now. He was never a gangster, but they was like kind of just extorting him out of money, making sure he went out and did this. But say, look, you don't say nothing. Because they have a wiretap, supposedly of them getting ready to murder him because he denounced that gangs. What do you think about that whole aspect?
Unfortunately for Tekashi, birds of a feather flock together. That's not a strong enough argument that you're not a gangster. That's not a strong enough argument when the people that you are with are certified gangsters. That's not if you're hanging with Shadi Treyway, bro. That's your manager. So it's going to be hard, unfortunately, for the young guy. I don't like to see anyone in jail. That's like a horrible thing, and especially someone his age. It's going to be pretty difficult for him to get his way out of that. At bare minimum, he's going to be in there maybe 5 years. And he'll consider himself lucky because of the simple fact that money, guns, and drugs don't mix. He would have been fine if he would have just stayed a rapper. Make your innuendos, talk, you just stay a studio gangster. But the minute he goes to airports, that is an international, but most of the time it's real tough. We don't really know how deep the man is in. We know he don't know he don't know how deep he is, but hopefully he does have a contingency plan with what you're talking about. Hopefully he got that in place.
Word, I'm glad I'm not in that situation. I keep my shit up because I never want to be in that. But that being said, I wanted to ask you real quick before we got out of here. I know we had to get some running going on. Does he find himself in trouble with the IRS looking forward?
Definitely.
How so?
Because of that 1.7 million. If the IRS is taking that money because they going, okay, you're a rapper. You're an international rapper. You got 1.7, but you got royalties coming. Look, he did another dumb thing. He released Dumbo. Why would you release a record while you're in the joint? Now, that's income, bro. Just because you locked up, that don't stop. That's income. Where's it going? Where's the money going to be sitting? The labels already got your routing and account numbers. They got all of that in order to pay you. So they're going to keep funneling that money. Unless the attorney sets up a trust for that money to sit in, and he better hope that a trust was in place before, because if not, they're going to attach probate to it, depending upon what he's getting sentenced to. Because they froze that 1.7 million, bro. Ain't nobody dipping and moving that money at all. That's right there. Now you got your promotion company that wants to sue you for 800,000 of it. So yeah, he got tax problems. He's got some tax issues. Because anybody, man, right away when it comes to this music game, if people got the right team around them, even if you're not a public figure, you don't put $1 million in the bank, man. Put it in a safe. Put it in a sock. Don't put it in the bank. Don't put $1 million in the bank, bro. He's not getting that money back. He's sitting there and he blew $1 million. Like while he was on Breakfast Club, he should have been taking it out, but he couldn't because he already knew he was popped. They froze that money probably a week or two ago.
How do the lawyers like situations like that? Like we say all the money is frozen. So how do the feds take into account? Like, well, I wonder how he's paying his lawyers. Do they look into that, or is that like a line they really can't cross?
No, they take it into a court. They can't cross it because he's an artist. He has royalties and stuff coming that are still due, depending upon what quarter he released the music and what quarter the labels pay out their royalties. Because ASCAP and BMI administrates those royalty payouts, they're going to be allowed to get paid their fees from those royalties. So they'll get paid their fees. The lawyers will get their 33%, which is why he made a serious tax mistake. Because whatever's left, they're going to tax it. So hopefully he's got a great accountant, great with a CPA, and a great financier that's moving that money the right way once it drops. But the attorneys will get their money up front.
Definitely, definitely. Do you see this being the end in closing for 6ix9ine? Obviously, it's going to depend on how much, jail time he gets, prison time. Do you see him, let's say if he did 5 to 7, do you see him being able to do something like Bobby Shmurda is probably going to do when he gets out and reverse this and kind of withstand this and being successful when he gets out again?
I think so. I think with him, yeah. I think he can do it. Now, what is different between him and Shmurda? Shmurda's work ethic was a bit better. Shmurda's got recordings. He does so many recordings before this happened that he can release work today if he could. But it's the reason why he's not. Taxes. That's why he's not releasing any music. But Bobby Shmurda could release music right now. He's got music that Meek could jump on, that this one can jump. He could do collabos right now from jail. But it would hurt him because they're going to tax him to death. That's the problem. And he doesn't have, you can't trust, when you're doing music from jail, you can't monitor what's going on. So that's why Bobby's sitting tight. But Bobby got work. Now, hopefully, 6ix9ine got some work. Hopefully, 6ix9ine was dedicated in that studio. Hopefully, 6ix9ine took it serious before this happened. And he's just not riding his hits. He continues to work in the studio. He continues to produce music. Because nobody saw before his push was Nicki Minaj. Nobody saw that coming. You would never think 6ix9ine would be doing a song with Nicki Minaj eating on an ice cream cone. But that was in the works because he put the work in, created the relationship, and then that netted the results. So hopefully he still has that mindset and he's working and he's building his brand. And I think he'll be okay when he gets out. I think he'll still have a semblance of a career. He does have a book. I know that. If you don't have nothing else, he's going to definitely have a book he can sell. That's for sure. If I was his publicist, that's what I would be thinking.
Definitely. That's all I got, SamAnt. You got anything else you want to ask for the brother Go, SamAnt?
No, sir. Indeed. This was dope, man. I appreciate it.